Right. Put Hi, Bon, for everyone. So today we are going to discuss the theory part of grade 11 maths, right? Called the straight line graphs. Remember, this is our very first day of fast track theory program. You know that we are focusing the graph question in paper 2, right? So in the graph question, we know that in the graph session, we do have uh, a small question, right? Q1 in paper 1, right? And Q1 in paper 2, right? So normally this is a 2-mark question and here 10-mark questions, right? Under the graph session. So once I cover up this module, right? So you can cover up all the graph session. Sometimes you may learn the graph or you may not learn. Because the graph second parts comes under the grade 11 maths, but we can earlier finish the graph session totally, right? Covering grade 10 and 11 syllabus. Okay. So remember that is how we are learning this maths. So it means when we so before completing the lessons in grade 11 also throughout this fast track program, we can cover up the each units. Okay. So today we are discussing the focus in the questions, right? Raised in the paper 1 from the graph part. So it is normally a straight line graph question, and here it goes the quadratic function. We call the parabola shaped graph, right? For this part. Okay, now we complete all together this part, and I give you the sample O-level questions also. I can show you come in the new syllabus. And once we completed the today session, exactly the question is okay, right? No any questions other than that. Okay, so remember the way of our program. So this is our fast track program, and we did the paper class yesterday. So these are two different things. So here you can cover up the syllabus as well as focus in the second paper rather than the first papers. Okay, right. Now you can have the topic straight line graph. You can make a book for this one. You can make your own notes. So, and we are doing calculations with you, and you can send me the answers. You can send me the questions, any matters regarding that. So once we set up, once we selected the students for the class, then I clearly give you ID, and then I can give you the access to the microphones. Then you can ask any live questions from next week onwards. Right. So today you can make a chat. Right. Okay. Right. So now we are discussing straight line graphs. Straight line graphs. Right. You can write down the topic straight line graphs. Keep a book for this one, fast track theory, so you can quickly catch up the knowledge. Okay. Straight line graph. What is the straight line graph? You know that the coordinate plane X and Y axis are there. So this is called the origin where these two axes meet each other. The coordinate 0, 0. Right. So straight line means this type of graphs, right? Passing through here, right here, right? This is a straight line graph. So straight line is having an like identity card, right? They are having their functions name, their behavior indicating by its equation. So each straight line having its equation, right? So that equations generally, right, these are straight lines graph. Generally, we have the formula y equal mx plus c. What is the equation of a straight line? Y equal mx plus c. So this is the behavior. So this indicates how the graphs behave throughout the x and y axis. Okay. So here two unknown parameters they are. So what are they? Right. We have the gradient and we have the C called the intercept. Okay. We will learn what is gradient and intercept. So what about the y and x? Right. They are the variables according to the x, right? The y is varied, right? X and y, the coordinates, right? When we input a certain x, accordingly the y value gives, right? Okay, so for a certain, if we consider a certain straight line, throughout the straight line, m is constant as well as c is constant. They are not varying for a specific straight line we consider. Okay, so now understand. So what is the forward concept? So the each graph having an equation, right? For the straight line graph, what is the equation? Y equal mx plus c. Okay, you can note down. This is the formula and these are the graphs that we have. Okay, so I'm not giving very big time to draw these, right? While the session going, you can make your necessary sketch. This is fast track, huh? Right. Okay. Now you know what is the identity card of a straight line, right? Y equal mx plus c. So we defined m and c. M is the gradient and c is the intercept. Okay. Right. Now, my subtopic is gradient. So we have seen a lot of questions given in the past papers for the gradient. That is a very important part of this lesson. So the gradient, finding the gradient. Okay, now you can write down the subtopic gradient. Subtopic gradient. Gradient, we call the symbol M. Right, carefully see, huh? Dragging on it. Right. So gradient is what of a straight line. So if I take a straight line, see carefully, this is x and y axis, right? So now I have a line here. So if somebody climbing up, right, now you can see it is having bit difficulties to climb up. But when I rotate, I touch here and I rotate the axis. Now the graph coming into this position. Now you can see now the climbing up on the top is bit difficult rather than that. That means here we have an inclination. Inclination means anatiputa, right, with x-axis. We have some inclination if I mention theta, right? Here also we have an inclination, right? I can take alpha. Now you can see that inclination is more than this inclination. Now if I take a straight line this way, now it is more inclination rather than these two. So remember the gradient is like an inclination with the x-axis, but that is not the exact definition. But remember, if inclination more with the x-axis, this x-axis, if it get more inclination with the x-axis means if the straight line is coming towards this way, right, its gradient getting increased. If it comes in this way, the gradient having less values, right? So just basic idea, right? This like inclination with the x-axis, right? If inclination more means gradient more. But remember, when it comes to a obtuse angle, when the angle with the x-axis, right now it comes to a certain point here. Now you can see, right? Its angle is an obtuse angle with the x-axis. That is obtuse. When it is obtuse angle, the gradient start to become negative. The gradient start to become negative. Okay, right. Now it was having a positive gradient, positive, positive. Now we turn from this 90-degree, right? Then what happened? The gradient becomes negative. Right now you know what is positive gradient and negative gradient. So the gradient positive and negative clearly identified. If it is negative positive with the x-axis, it takes right up to 90 degree, the acute angles, here the theta acute angle, if the gradient positive means it create with x-axis acute angle. See the shape, see the slope up to this value, like here to here, this shapes, right? This shapes all the graphs having positive gradient. But whenever it creates, right, obtuse angles, like this way, right? Now you can see these are the obtuse angle with the x-axis polar, then they are having negative gradient. Why I'm telling this one? By looking into the shape of the graph, you can determine what is the sign of the gradient. දැන් සමහර ළමයි උත්තර ගන්නවා ආන්සර්ස් ගන්නවා gradient එක හොයන්න කිව්වම හැබැයි බලපුවාම graph එකේ shape එක අනුව ඉන්න ඕනේ positive gradient එකක් හැබැයි mistakenly ඇවිල්ලා negative. එතකොට අපිට තේරෙන්න ඕන අපේ calculation එක වැරදුනත් graph ඇඳලා තියෙනකොට මෙහෙම ඇඳලා තිබ්බ graph එකක්, right? This type graph, then the gradient shall positive, this type positive. But the graph is in this manner, then you see that the gradient must negative. So your calculation should show a negative sign. පැහැදිලි? අන්න ඒක අපි කියන්නේ හැම වෙලේම මැත්ස් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ පුතේ. අන්නේ රාමුවෙන් පිටතට හිතන්න. right? නිකන් ඉලක්කම් එක්ක ගනුදෙනු කරන්නම නෙවෙයි. right? අපිට පුළුවන් ඉලක්කම් අරන් උත්තර වැරදුනහමත් අපිට පේන්න ඕනේ වැරදි කියලා. ඒකයි understanding එක ඕනේ. right? Okay? right, now this is acute angle, positive gradient, obtuse negative gradient. That is fine. Now you, when I show you a graph, now you can see the sign, just sign, not the magnitude. You can see the sign, what would be the, right, gradient, positive or negative. This is the graph 1. This is the graph 2. Okay, this is the graph 3. Right, this is the graph 4. Right, okay, and this is the graph 5. Now you have an idea. With the value also you can see that 1, 2, 3 they create, this is the x-axis, with x-axis, right, the acute angles, that means they are having a positive gradient. So these are positive values, but compare the value also, here the value getting increased, right, while the inclination more. Then the graph 4 and 5, see that is the graph, this is the x-axis, with the x-axis it create obtuse angle. Here it create obtuse angle, obtuse more than 90 degree angle. That means they are gradient negative. Okay, now you look into the graphs and you can determine whether as per the shape, what would be the gradient sign, whether it's positive or negative. Fine, right? Okay, so that is done. So now what we discuss up to now, what is the identity? Y equal mx plus c. Then what is the m? M is like the inclination with the x-axis. If it is acute angle, that is positive. If it is obtuse, that is negative. Okay, then when the inclination more, gradient is getting increased. So these are the concepts. Okay, fine. Now I move to the finding the value of gradient. Okay, fine. You can note it down, these concepts. දුරපුතා ආයේ එක දශමයක්වත් ලකුණු වර්ධින්නේ නැහැ, අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. right, මේ තර්කේ මේ විදිහට මැත්ස් ඉගෙන ගත්තොත් ආයේ පැටලෙන්නේ වර්ධින්නේ නැහැ. ඉරව වගේ පාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ මැත්ස්. හරි? දැන් හෙට ළමයි ලියනවා විභාගෙ පටන් ගන්නවා හෙට අපේ පරණ බෑජ් එකේ. ඉතින් මේ පාර බහුතරයක් දෙනා හොඳටම විභාග කරා. අපි පේපර්ස් කරා 60 70ක් විතර කරා papers. We did more than 70 papers in our classes. I think they are okay, full competence. Some students can score exactly 100 marks, right, in the paper, right? Okay, fine, that is done. You can note it down, what is the shape, if it is positive or negative, right? So now I am going to find the gradient of a straight line, right, as per the definition. Right. See there very carefully. So this is the straight line graph. So this is x and this is y. So I have a graph, a straight line graph. Let me draw it as a straight line. Huh? Right. Right. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Right. Then this is the straight line graph. Okay. That shall be a straight line. Okay. Then the gradient means like the inclination, but actually not the inclination, the tan value of that inclination, right? So tan value, you haven't learned the trigonometry, but understand the concept, but earlier you can understand. So I have imagine, right, 2 points I require to find the gradient. So this is the first point, right? A point is indicated here, the coordinates. So I write here the x coordinate x1, here y coordinates y1. This is the point. Then I choose another point. This is the point. So here the x coordinate is x2. I will give the time to write this one. These are very important. Then the y coordinate here is y2. This is the y coordinate. Okay. This is x1 and this is y1. Okay. Now I told you the inclination. I mark the inclination here. Inclination with the x-axis. So I imagine the x-axis is parallel to this. This is similar to x-axis, right? Okay. Now inclination means this angle theta. I mark that is as theta. So I told you the gradient equal tan theta. Don't worry about that. You do not know tan theta yet. M equal tan theta. Tan theta takes the opposite sides of this triangle. This opposite side means the vertical height here shall be divided by the horizontal length. This height to be divided by this length. Then the gradients will gives you. Okay. So how to take this height? See there, right? This height. You know that here to here y2, the total height. See there. From here to here y2 and here to here y1. Then what is the gap here? Y2 subtract y1. So this height is given as y2 subtract y1. And this length how to take? Here to here x1, right? And here to here, sorry, here to here x2 and here to here x1. So how to take the in-between gap? X2 subtract x1. So here x2 subtract x1. Now the answer is found. Right, the vertical height over horizontal length. Right, the vertical height is y2 minus y1 upon the horizontal length is x2 minus x1. So this is the gradient formula. You take it. Right, tell me the equation now. Y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. What is on the top? සඳහන් to exam එකේ පැටලලා කොහොමද? Y the උඩ x the උඩ. Right, y උඩ හැම වෙලෙම. Right, y is on the top. Right, y2 subtract y1. But y2 give y1 as well as here x also start with x2 minus x1. Then I will show you how the way of getting the answer. Okay, just draw this figure. This is a theory class, then you have to note it down. Yes, Putta, ask question. Yes, likewise, we can choose any coordinate throughout these on the line. Right, any coordinate you can choose on the line, but that shall be on the line, on the straight line. So you can choose any two coordinates. The gradient gives you the same answer. Why, Putta? So you know that straight line, ඔයා මෙතනින් angle එක ගත්තත්, that is theta also. Why? You know that these two parallel, then here also theta. These are corresponding angle. So if you take any direction here theta, so that is given same answer. Why? That's why we are telling that throughout the straight line, the gradient is a constant. So M will not vary based on the point to point on the straight line. M is uniform. M is constant throughout the straight line. Okay. Right. Write down this one. Once you finish writing, you can raise your hand. ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් අපි ලබන සතියේ ඉඳලා මම enable කරනවා mics මේකේ ස්ථීරම පිරිස confirm වුණාට පස්සේ ඒක 5 දිනෙකද 6 දිනෙකද 10 දිනෙකද 20 දිනෙකද ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. එන පිරිසට හරියටම එක්සෑම් එක දක්වා නීට් එකට උගන්වනවා. විශ්වාසයෙන් පන්තියට එන්න. ඒ වගකීම හරියටම කරනවා. හරි. එතකොට ආය අමතර පන්ති පස්සේ දුවන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. හරියට පේපර් එක යනවා. හරියට fast track theory එක යනවා. right. මේ දෙක cover කරගත්තොත් totally sure හොඳ solid ඒකකට යන්න පුළුවන්. right. okay. Okay, Bhutan. So that is fine. Now you know. Tell me the equation y2 minus y1 divide by x2 minus x1. Right. Okay. And now I take the equation. Remember, yes, tan mean Putta. Remember in this level, I teach you the trigonometry. Tan means in a right angle triangle, right? When you consider an angle, right, the opposite side, opposite means for theta, opposite this one, this opposite side divided by the adjacent side. So just remember vertical height of this right angle triangle divided by the horizontal level length at this moment. This side divided by this length, this, right. That ratio is the tan, okay? Right, now I take the equation, remember everyone, y equal y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Make a මතක තියෙන්න ඕනේ හැමදාටම. A level maths කරත් ඕන වෙනවා gradient එක, okay? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Read everyone. Right. Now we are moving to the calculation. Making ගානක් කියනවා මම. Right. එතකොට ගොඩක් අවුරුද්දවල අහලා තියෙන gradient එක හොයන්න. එතකොට gradient එක හොයන්න පුළුවන් කියලා අපි බලමු. Right. right. මේ session එකකට ඊළඟට අතරින් පතර join වෙන්නේ නැතුව හරි මම දැන් ලබන සතියේ ඉඳලා ඒක මොනිටර් කරනවා. හරියට මුලින් ඉඳලා අග වෙනකන් session එකේ ඉන්න ඕනේ. මොකද නැත්තම් වැඩක් නැහැ. හරි. කියන්නේ අපි යමක් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ ඒක හරියටම complete වෙන්න ඕනේ නැත්තම් අපරාධයක් වෙන්නේ. දැන් මම කිව්වා හරියටම මාස පොඩි කාලයක් තියෙන දැන් මෙතන විභාගෙ ලිව්වහම හරි. ඊළඟ විභාගෙට ඒකට ඒ නිසා හරියටම වැඩ කරන්න දැන් ළමයි රත් වෙලා ඉන්නේ දැන් මේ පාර ලියන අය සමහරු හරියට වැඩ නොකරපු අය. right අවසාන මොහොතේ දැඟලුවාට අපිට ගොඩ යන්න බෑ පුතා. හරි. ඒකට මුල ඉඳලම හරියට වැඩ ටික වෙන්න ඕනේ. නැත්තම් බොරුවට සතියක් දෙකක් මාසයක් දෙකක් තියලා උතුණාට මේ සිලබස් එක කවර් කරගන්න බෑ. නිසා හරියට පිළිවෙලට නීට් එකට ඉගෙන ගන්න. okay? right. So y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So how to take the answer? Imagine they have given that a straight line. This is the straight line x and y. And a straight line passing through. 2 points are given. Imagine the points being marked here. So the first question I will take here. Here 1, 3 point and here point given as 4, 6. Right. 4, 6. You know that in a point, in a coordinate, first coordinate is the x coordinate. I take it as x1 and here the y coordinate is the y1. Here x coordinate is the x2 and here the y coordinate is y2. Okay. X1, y1 here, x2, y2 there. So as per the equation, now you know n equal y coordinate difference y2 minus y1 divided by x difference x2 minus x1. Now just substitute into that. Y2 is here 6, right? Subtract here y coordinate 3 divide by here x coordinate 4, x2 4, subtract here x coordinate x1 1. Okay, now you can see 6 subtract 3 3, 4 subtract 1 3. So 3 divided by 3 means what? 1. So the gradient is equal to 1. Now you feel that graph in this position that shall be positive. Yes, positive 1 is there. Okay, so that is how you deal, right? In future, I will tell you without writing this equation also, you can find the gradient. Okay, note it down as the very first example, how to find the gradient. Y2 y minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, right. So now you understood y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. That means just y coordinate difference in your mind. So no need to write this y2, y1. Just remember y difference divided by x difference. So the same directions to be followed. So the y start from here to here subtraction. So the x also shall start the subtraction from here to here. તો y start કરવું direction ને કદમ x start કરવાનો ને subtraction કરવાનો તો સમારું મેં મારું કરનો એમ કરો તો વાર્દીનો ઉત્તરે right you started y subtraction this way so the subtraction also this way so you can go here it's also to be there same directions but if you do 6 subtract 3 and here to here the subtraction that is incorrect okay that is fine finished. Right now, I will give you the chance to find the gradient when 2 points are given. Making good up prashna illa thiyena exam ekta. Right, this is the question for you. 2 questions. Right, xy. Just sketch out. And here graph part is given now. Here 2, 1. And here 5, 3. Find the gradient. First one, then second one, xy, here 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, then 4, 5. Then third one, when 2 points is marked, how to take 1, 3, and here 3, 1. Okay, 3 questions are there. So you can start doing and send me the answers to the chat. Right, අපි competition එකක් තියමු. බලමු අපි හරියටම answers දාන කට්ටිය කවුද කියලා. 1, 2, 3 gradient. So y difference divided by x difference just Y coordinate difference divide by X coordinate different into the same direction. Y given ගන්න එක divide කරන්න X වෙනසෙන්. Right, we got one answer. Well done. Right, start doing. Yes, we have received, yes, Tamasha, Ravindu, Sayuminti, Yenula, Ravindu, Vinuri. Yes. Okay, right. So that is fine. See the way of getting answer. Here in, so y difference I take into this direction, right? 3 subtract 1, 3 subtract 1 divide by 5 subtract 2. Right, 3 subtract 1 means 2 divide by 5 subtract 2, 3. So 2 upon 3. So just keep it as a fraction. No issue, right? Don't try to become convert as decimal because it is not a in decimal, right? Yes. And further you check that is positive 2 upon 3. Ah, yes, that inclination is in this direction, acute angle. Now you check here, right? M equal y difference over x difference. How? 5 subtract 2 divide by 4 subtract 1. Then 5 subtract 2 means 3. 4 subtract 1, 3. 3 upon 3 means 1. Okay. Right here, before you find the gradient, now you feel that this is like this shape, means with the x-axis. When you connect to the x-axis, you can see that is an obtuse angle with the x-axis. So that means the gradient must be negative. Negative. So අපිට negative එකක් ආවේ නැත්තම් වැරදිලා හරි. අපි හිතනවා අපි answer එක වැරදුනා කියලා අපිට දැනෙන්න ඕනේ ඒක මම කිව්වේ. Right. So now here you can subtract here to here. 3 subtract 1 divide by 1 subtract 3. So 3 subtract 1 means 2. 1 subtract 3 means negative 2. Then 2 divide by 2, 1. But that is negative 1. That is negative 1. Right. Hands up those who got the answer. All three correctly. Right. Well done. Very good. Right. Now, so here you can see a specialty. All the graph parts drawn in this first quadrant. Drawn in this first quadrant. We know that we have 4 quadrants are there. See there. Right. What are the quadrants of this Cartesian plane? This is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. Right. So remember that in O-level paper, O-level question is given for the finding the gradient for a graph drawn at the first quadrant. Drawn at first quadrant. First quadrant graph part that is mentioned in the essential learning concept. Right. So all these graph parts in which quadrant? The first quadrant. Right. This quadrant. So they are the x and y coordinates are positive. Right. Alright. In a equation, first quadrant x and y both coordinates are positive. Right. Now that part is done. Everyone did of finding the gradient when 2 points are directly given. Right. And now check. Sometimes the points are not directly given. Right. The points are not directly given. So we have to find the points. Right. How? In this manner. Right. See there. The points are not directly given. They mention. Right. This way. The graph is drawn. You know that, imagine this graph, and here it is mentioned 2, and this point is given, right? 3, 6. 3, 6. So 1 point is exactly given. So I know I told you that to find the gradient, what we require, what are the inputs? 2 points are the inputs. So we should have 2 points. So 1 point is directly given, but here directly not given. That is the y-intercept only. Y-intercept. Y right? So that is the value of 2. But you know that you have to convert this as a coordinate. How? You know that on the y-axis, this is the point. You have to connect to find the x-coordinate. The x-coordinate is 0. So here x-coordinate 0, y-coordinate is y-intercept, that is 2. Y-coordinate is 2. Now you converted this one as a coordinate 0, 2. Okay. Now that is fine. Now you can find m as y difference over x difference. 6 subtract 2 divide by 3 subtract 0. So 6 subtract 2 means 4 upon 3. So that is the gradient. Okay, write it down. What is the specialty here? Here, this coordinate wise, it is not given, just the intercept 2 is mentioned. Then we convert it as the coordinate. Okay, write it down. Then the second example, right? Similarly, x-intercept given and here y-coordinate given. Here that is mentioned here 4 and here 1 comma 1 comma 8. Now try to this one, do this one. Try to do this one and try to give the answer. So here exactly coordinate given, but here coordinate not given. Just x value is given, x-intercept given. So you have to convert that point as a coordinate. Then two coordinates are known. Then you can find out the gradient. Give me the answer. Yes. Right. So how to convert Putta this one? This is the x coordinate because that is the x-axis. X x-axis x value with. So the x coordinate is 4. What is the y coordinate? Here the y coordinate, when you connect to the y-axis, what happened? Y coordinate 0. So you can write it as 4 comma 0. X-axis connecting means x coordinate. Y connecting means y coordinate. The other opposite coordinate is 0. Remember in that way. Okay, then x4, y0. Now it is converted as two coordinates. So write the equation. M equal y difference. X subtract 0 into this direction, divide by this same direction, 1 subtract 4. So now you can see 8 upon 1 subtract 4, negative 3. So the answer negative t 8 upon 3. So that shall be negative. By looking into the graph, you can see that is obtuse angle. Then the gradient shall negative. That is fine. Okay, that is done. Okay. Now the most difficult question to you, I will give you right that question. Now we will check whether you can do it or not. Okay. අපි බලමු මේක win කරන්නේ කවුද කියලා question එක. Right. So now they haven't given any coordinate, but they are intersecting values given. Make exam එකකටත් ආවා. Right. Here that is just 4 and here given as just 8. 4 and 8. Okay. They asking the gradient. හරි බලමු අපි මේක win කරන්නේ කවුද කියලා හැමෝම හදන්න. Right, 4 and 8. What is the gradient? You can drop a message. Yes, we got Tamasha. First answer. We'll check. Others. Yes, Venuri also given. A second. Yes, Yenula also given, but we'll check. And Sayundi. also given. Very good. Others, try it. So uh, try as coordinate, convert as two coordinates and just y difference over x difference. Yes, we got answer Biguni. Very good. Govindu, Yenula Biguni. Yes. Who else? Right. Everyone to be worked. Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, we have seen lot of answers. Very good. Uh, Firstly, we got Tamacha's answer as correct. We will check. Okay, so this is how you convert it, right, as the point. So you can make this as a point. So here x code x axis. බලන්න මේ විදිහටම හිතන්න වරදින්න x axis නම් පුතා x value is the given x axis then x coordinate x coordinate 4 then y coordinate the opposition 0 always on the axis. So y is 0. So now see there, you put this is the coordinate. That is y-axis. Y-axis mean y coordinate. Second one 8. What about the first x coordinate? Connect to x-axis, that is 0. Now you convert it as the coordinates, that is 0, 8, 4, 0. Right. Now you can find out the gradient, right? Just 8 subtract 0, right? Divide by 0 subtract 4. Then 8 divide by negative 4. Then that is 8 divided by 4, 2, but negative 2. Negative 2. I so some have given the positive answer, but once you got the answer, you have to feel that it cannot. Why? The graph shape, see there. Graph inclination with the x-axis is obtuse. This is obtuse. Obtuse means the gradient must be negative, right? මේ අතර තිබ්බොත් විතරයි positive වෙන්නේ. මෙහෙම හාන්සි වුණොත් negative, right? Okay. So that part is over. Finding the gradient with use of the given coordinates. So I have given the several methods. Find the exact two coordinates given, and then the graph is drawn, and then x-intercept given and y-intercept given, and both intercept only given, not in the coordinate format, right? So the other is, right, just they will mention that a graph is passing through the point this one and this one, find the gradient without drawing the graph. Normally they give. Write down this equation, right? A straight line passes through the points passes through the points 2, 3 and 6, 9. Find its gradient. Find its gradient. Or find the gradient of the straight line. So likewise, the point wise given without drawing. So how to take the answer? Similarly, right? Just the 2 points given, then find the gradient, y difference over x difference. Right. Gradient. How to find? Just two coordinates is given. Just subtract in this manner. Y difference 9 subtract 3 divide by 6 subtract 2. So 9 subtract 3 means 6 divide by 6 subtract 2 means 4. Just 6 upon 4. How to simplify? By 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. Then 3 upon 2. So that is the gradient. Yes, 3 upon 2, 6 upon 4. Okay, simplify further. Right, that is done. So we completed the gradient part. Okay. Now you know that how to find the gradient with use of two coordinates. Right. Then the topic is intercept. What is the topic? Intercept. Intercept. Write down it. So intercept is C. What's the intercept meaning? C. Right. So intercept definition is whenever we have a graph, right, where the graph cut the y-axis, the graph is coming in this direction and cutting the y-axis at a certain point, this y height, the cutting y value is the intercept. Right. Sometimes it cut on the y-axis in the above part, mean positive part, as well as it may cut by the negative parts here. Right. Then the intercept may be negative. Right. Here imagine 0, 3. Then here 0, negative 4. Right. So what is the gradient now? Positive 3 is the gradient here. Right. Then what is the gradient here? The y cutting value negative 4. Then that is the negative 4. C negative 4. Okay. So these are the intercept of the straight line. So what is the intercept here? Positive 3. What is the intercept there? Negative 4. Not the gradient. Intercept. So intercept 3, intercept negative 4. Right. Okay. Fine. Then now you can see what is the format of the intercept coordinate. Now you see at the y-axis, if we draw any straight line, right, passing through the y-axis, what about their coordinate format? Here like 0, negative 6. Then here like 0, positive 5. Now I have written, if I written all the, here imagine that passing through origin, that is 0, 0. Origin is 0, 0 value. Now you see that all the graph y intersecting point, here 0, 5, here 0, 3, here 0, 0, 0, negative 4, and then 0, negative 6. Now these are the intercept point, right? So the second value are the intercept. So these are the intercept of the each equation, that is C. Now you can see that the intercept coordinates format is always x coordinate 0. So the special part at the intercept, x coordinate equal to 0. X coordinate equal 0. තර මතක තියාගන්න. එහෙනම් මොකද වෙන්නේ at the intercept point, right? X coordinate is 0. So how to identify in the exam when the graph is drawn, you can identify by this cutting point, y value. But when the coordinate given, how to identify the intercept coordinate? The intercept coordinate shall be in the form 0, something. This is a flower, right? So what is the intercept here? Flower. Why you till that intercept because x coordinate 0. X0 means that is the y intersecting point, right? So the intercept is flower. So remember the format in the intercept coordinate 0, comma something, something is the intercept. The exam a graph passing through 0, comma 5 and 2, comma 3. So by looking into these two coordinates, you can find out directly the intercept. Why? How the 0, comma coordinate is the intercept coordinate after the 0 value, that is intercept. Okay, right. හොඳයි මේ ටික note කරගන්න පුතා intercept. the exam එකේ අඳුර ගන්න තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ ක්‍රමයෙන් 0, coordinate එකට පස්සේ යෙදෙන්නේ intercept එක. හැබැයි අපිට මෙහෙම coordinates දීලා තිබ්බොත් මේකෙන් intercept හොයන්න බෑ. Right. So here we cannot say intercept is 3 or 5. Why? Here the nothing coordinate has given x0. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා අහන්න. Right? Sketch out. Once you finish, you can raise your hand. Right. So intercept none. So how to find the intercept? With use of the graph, the y cutting point, y-axis cutting point. So how to find the intercept? With use of the coordinate after the 0, right? That value is the intercept. Here 5, here 3, here 0, here -4, here -6. Likewise. Okay, good. Okay, Buddha, right. Now it is done. Then, right. మీకు ఇక్షణికలి ఆగాము. The intercept of a straight line is 3n. It passes through the point point 2, 7. 2, 7. මෙහෙම ගානක් ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. මෙහෙම එන්න පුළුවන්. 2, 7. Find its gradient. වෙනස් විදි ගානක් මං ක්‍රියේට් කරලා දුන්නේ. බලමු. Right. What about now? Its gradient. Right. What happened here? Intercept given, but you know to find the gradient, it is better to have two coordinates. But one coordinate exactly given and the intercept given. But we know how to convert the intercept as a coordinate. How? How to convert intercept as a coordinate? Here 3 there. So 3 means its x coordinate 0 at the intercept. So 0 comma 3 is the coordinate. Then the other coordinate is 2 comma 7. So 0 comma 3 and the 2 comma 7. So how to find the gradient? Gradient equal, now you know y difference of x difference. 7 subtract 3, right? Just divide by 2 subtract 0. Y difference of x difference. We converted the gradient into a coordinate. Remember that. That's x coordinate 0. So 7 subtract 3, 4, 2 subtract 0, 2. 4 divided by 2 means 2. බලන්න questions concept හරියටම දන්නවා නම් ඕන question එකක් answer කරන්න පුළුවන්. Yes, that is done. Right. Okay. Right. Right. Now you know how to find the gradients and the intercept where the graph is given. Right. Okay. Now I will show you how to find the equation of a straight line. Right. How to write the equation of the straight line. Subtopic. Writing the equation of the straight line. Equation of a straight line. So in exam, sometimes they ask, write the equation of the straight line. So once you taken the gradient and the intercept, then you can write the equation, just substituting into the equation, right? So what are the two things to be known to write the equation? We know that the equation in the form of y equal mx plus c. So instead of m, you have to substitute the gradient you found, and then you know now how to find the intercept. So just substitute the two values into the equation. Then the equation is given. Okay, right. We'll see how to do that type of equation. Right. For an example, this one. Right. A straight line passes through the point 0 comma 4 and 2 comma 8. Find the equation of the straight line. Find the equation of the straight line. Right. ලියාගන්න ප්‍රශ්නේ fiction එක. Right. So what they're asking, a straight line passes through the point, this one and this one. Find the equation of the straight line. So finding the equation of a straight line, you require two things, right? What are the two things? Right, M and C to be found. So how to find them? We learned that 2 points is required. Yes, that 2 points is required. That is given. So just find the M with use of the 2 points. So 8 subtract 4, 8 subtract 4 divide by 2 subtract 0. Then take the answer. 8 subtract 4. 4 2 subtract 0 means 2. 4 divide by 2 means 2. So M equal to found. Now M found. What else you require? C. So how to find the C? I told you read the coordinate correctly. So they are 0, comma 4, 2, comma 8. You see that 0, comma coordinate. That means the second value is the intercept in the 0, comma 4. So intercept is 4 puta. Right? Right. Enang balan right. So y equal mx plus c. That is the format of the graph. So y equal now instead of m substitute right 2. Instead of m substitute 2. 2x, right, plus c. For c, you substitute plus 4. So that is the equation of the straight line. So once you found the m and c, just substitute the values there. Okay, okay, fine. Any doubts you can ask. Right, right. Now, see there, a straight line මේ ගන්න ලියා ගන්න පුතා එන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රශ්න ටිකම අද කරනවා. එතකොට ආයේ මේ පාර්ට් එක බලන්නවත් දෙයක් නැහැ. හරියටම සෙට්. මෙතනින් එහා මම රෙකමන්ඩ් කරන එක ගානක්වත් දෙන්නේ මේ තීරි වලට පිටින්. right. ඒ නිසා මේ ටික හරියටම අල්ලගත්තොත් ඔය නෝට් එක බලන්න. උතනින් එහාට එන්නේ නැහැ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. බලන්න පාස් පේපර්ස් අරන් තමයි ලියන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා. උතනින් එහාට ප්‍රශ්න ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ නිව් සිලබස් එකේ. නිව් සිලබස් එකේ තියෙන 16 වලින් 15ට. we can 16 17 18. Right. Right down a straight line with intercept 4 comma passes through the point 2 comma the point 2 comma 8. Find the equation of the straight line. So I will do this one in two methods. Right. Try this one. Balan make hitanna balan. So they are intercept given, C given, right, and M not given. So M to be found because you know 1 point, then to find M, you require 2 points. The intercept can convert as a point. Then find the gradient. Right. What about your answers? Right, very good. We'll check. Right. A straight line intercept O. Intercept O means C is found O. For y equal mx plus c. C known now. Right. You need m. So to find m, you require another point. 2 comma 8 find, but C known means C can convert as a point. How? In the intercept, x coordinate 0, comma y is the intercept, y is 4. Now we convert that as a coordinate. So now you can find the m. So how to find m? Y difference of x difference. So 8 subtract 4 divide by x difference 2 subtract 0. So 8 subtract 4 means 4 divide by 2 subtract 0 means 2. Right. 4 subtract 4 divide by 2 means what? 2. Okay. M equal to. Right. Now therefore the equation equal y equal mx plus c. For m substitute 2. 2x plus c means plus 4. On the ready. Right. Hands up those who got the answer. 2x plus 4. Nima, yeah? Okay. So that is done. තේරෙන්නේ නැති මොනවා හරි තියෙනවා ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න ඕනේ. Right. Okay. So now you know how to find the equation of a straight line. Okay. Which is of that. Okay. Now I will do this type of equation. So I can do it in the other way, right? තව ක්‍රමයක් කියලා දෙන්නම් මම. Right. මෙන්න මෙහෙම ගානක් අපි ලියාගමු. A point passes through මෙන්න මේක තමයි එන්න පුළුවන් අමාරුම ක්වෙක්ෂන් එක මේ පාඩමේ. Right? හොඳට අහගන්න. A point passes through, sorry, a straight line passes through the points 1, 3 and 2, 7. Find the equation of the straight line. Find the equation of the straight line. Okay. Find the equation of the straight line. ඔන්න එන්න පුළුවන් අමාරු ප්‍රශ්නේ. බලමු අපි මේක හදන්න. Right. Right, Puti. Right. Now see here 2 points given means that you can find out the gradient. Okay, you can find out the gradient, but you cannot find out the intercept directly. What's the reason? Knowing coordinates indicate in our format 0, comma something. Knowing 0, comma coordinate to find the intercept directly. Right. Then you find the gradient here, m equal, right, y difference of x difference. First find m. So 7 subtract 3 divide by. In this manner you subtract Similarly, x difference into that direction. So divide by 2, subtract 1. So here 4 divide by 1, then 4 divide by 1 means 4. So you found the m value as 4. Okay, right. Now m is found 4. Now the c is the doubt. C is the doubt. By looking into the coordinates, you cannot find out. So C is missing. So I write the equation y equal, right, mx plus c. For m, we can substitute 4 x plus c. And c is not known, so I write it as c. So this is the equation, but it is half. Then make a bargain in it. Right. හරියටම නෑ, complete නෑ. එතකොට මේක C හොයන්න ඕනේ. මෙහිමයි condition එක. This is now the equation. That equation of the straight line is the y equal 4x plus c. But we cannot give in this format because c is not known. But they says that it passed through 1, 3 and 2, 7 on the condition. If a straight line passes through a certain point, means that points are satisfied the equation. The points are satisfied the equation. It means what? The x and y coordinates. If we substitute x and y coordinates for this equation, right, then that is satisfied. And when a certain point is running through the straight line, then that point can substitute to the equation. So that is the condition. So the point is satisfied. So what I do here, you can choose either point of these two, and I choose this point. What is that? 1, 3. So what is the x value? 1, y value 3. So for this equation, for y I substitute y coordinate 3 equal now 4 into x coordinate 1 plus c. Okay. Now 3 equal 4 into 1, 4 plus c. So now you can subject C. How? Just C is bring this 4 to the other side. Then 3 subtract 1, that is -1. On right, what we did, we couldn't find directly the C. Then we write the equation in half, writing C as C. Then substitute a point onto this equation and take the C. They're not the maker. Hands up those who got the understanding here. So either you can substitute this point also, the similar answer to be given 2, 7. For x, you substitute 2, y 7. Now C found. Now you write y equal 4x is there plus c is -1. This is the equation. මේක තමයි අන්න පුළුවන් මම ප්‍රශ්නේ. මේක ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ මගේ මතකෙ හිටියට ආවේ නැහැ මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ. ඒකට මොකද හින්ට් එක? මේ වගේ එකක් ඉන්නත් පුළුවන්. සිලබස් එක තුල තියෙනවා. ඒක ටිකක් අමාරු නිසායි ආවේ නැත්තේ. C directly ගන්න ඒවා තමයි අපිට දුන්නේ. කෝඩිනේට් එක බලලා ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා දුන්නේ. 0, කියලා කෝඩිනේට් එකක් තිබුණා. right. මේක තර ලකුණක් දාගන්න නෝට් එකේ right මේ වගේ එකක් එන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, last part, right. මේ part එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ඉවර වෙනවා. මේ කොටස කරපුවාම ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක් හදන්න පුළුවන්. right. You can write it down now. Okay, very good. Okay, Buddha. Right. So are you okay with this up to now? Right. Especially finding them, finding the C, finding the equation. These three being discussed. different categories. Right. Okay. Now, when the equation given, how to find the gradient and intercept, that is very easy part. Okay. Now the equation given, see there, y equal mx plus c. So what is the gradient and the intercept? Gradient, how to find the coefficient of x. What is that? Coefficient? Right. Coefficient means front value of the x. That is the gradient. The intercept is the after value of that. So by looking into the equation, they say that graph equation equal y equal 3x plus 4. So they will ask by looking into that what is m and what is c. Gradient given, gradient asking m. So the x coefficient with the sign m equal 3 and the intercept is the next value that is plus 4. Okay. Find the gradient and the intercept of the graph via the identity given. Right. Now y equal negative 5x. So what is the gradient and intercept? Tell everyone. Gradient is the x coefficient. X coefficient is negative 5. Whereas c? C is missing. C is 0. Right. C is 0. Okay. Right. Third one. Y equal, right, half x plus 2/3. So how to find the gradient and the intercept? M equal half. X coefficient half, right, plus the intercept equal 2 upon 3. So that are fine. But the case is, right, this type equation now 2y equal, right, 4x minus 3. Now student says that x coefficient 4 is the gradient and y coefficient negative 3. But here see that, right, y is not subjected. Y is not subjected. That is not in the form y equal. Y equal කියලා පුතා තියෙන්නේ. No. That is 2y equal. That is 2y equal. So that to be created as y equal. How to do it? Right. Just divide both sides by 2. All the terms by 2. Here 4x divide by 2. Negative 3 divide by 2. Y to be subjected at y equal. So now 2 cancelled. Now it becomes y equal 4 upon 2, 2x. But here exactly not divisible, just as a fraction. Negative 3 upon 2. And now you can give the gradient and intercept m equal y x coefficient 2 and c equal negative 3 upon 2. Right, fifth one. 2y plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. මෙහෙම දෙනවා graph එක. But we have to subject y. Right, මොකද්ද මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ? Subject y. කොහොමද y subject කරන්නේ? අනිත් terms ඔක්කොම එහා පැත්තට ගෙනියන්න. So here 2y equal 3x goes to the other side. Negative 3x, negative 2 goes to the other side as positive 2. Just subject y. How? Just all the terms divide by 2. Then see the answer. Here y equal negative 3 upon 2x plus 2 upon 2, 1. Now give the gradient and intercept. X coefficient, the front value to the x is the gradient, negative 3 upon 2, and intercept is, right, 1. ඔන්න පුතා ඊළඟ අහන ප්‍රශ්නය. When the equation given, with use of the equation, what is the understanding? Make y equal and find the gradient and intercept. Okay, quickly write down these 5. Speciality right here for the x y to be subjected. Right. Once you finish, raise your hand. Then I will give you only two questions. Right. Y equal negative x plus 5. Try කරන්න වෙනස් එකක් හදපු නැති එකක් තියෙනවා. Right. These three questions just subject the y. Just subject the y and give me the answer. 6y equal mx plus c y subject වෙලා නම් එහෙමම දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right, Putta, you can drop the answers for 6, 7 and 8. Yes, we got. Right, first one. See there. Y equal negative x plus 5, Putta. Y equal negative x plus 5. So y being subjected, y subjected. So now x coefficient is negative, means negative 1 there. So m equal negative 1, c equal positive 5. This is the answer. Okay. For question number 6. For 7, y upon 3 equal x minus 1. So here division 3 there. How to eliminate division 3? By opposition, multiplying 3 all the terms. So I multiply by 3 here, multiply by 3 and multiply by 3 all the terms. Then 3 cancelled. Then y equal 3 into x 3x minus 3 into 1 3. Now y being subjected, y equal mx plus c. So x coefficient now that is the m3, c is negative 3. සමහරු මේක තුනෙන් මයා විතරක් multiply කරනවා මෙයා multiply වෙන්නේ නැහැ මොනොත් වර්ධිනවෙන්. Right. All the terms to be multiplied by 3. So 8 1 2y minus 1 equal 3x. Now y to be subjected. Right. Bring 1 to the other side, negative 1. Then it becomes positive 1. Then 2y there. So just divide by 2 all the terms. Okay. Then 2 cancelled. Y equal 3 upon 2 x plus 1 upon 2. So now take the value m. M is the x coefficient 3 upon 2. C is this one. So here m equal 3 upon 2 and c equal 1/2. Right, hands up those who got the answer. Right, okay. Putta, that's the theory part. Totally covered. Now I move to the last year short question. O-level paper. See the 2022 O-level paper question. So now I share you the screen. You can directly give the answer. On the O-level paper again. See the question 2022. Right. Write the equation of the straight line that passes through the point 2, 1 and has intercept 5 in the form of y equal mx plus c. බලන්න මං හදපුම විදිය ගානක්. දැන් මම මේක බලලා නෙමෙයි මේ විදියට ගණන් හැදුවේ. බලන්න ෆික්ෂන් එකට අපි උත්තරේ ගමු. මෙන්න 22 එක ලියා ගන්න බලන්න. උත්තරේ ගන්න දාන්න බලන්න. Write the equation of the straight line that passes through the point 2, 1 and has intercept 5. මේකත් අර සබ්ස්ටිටියුට් කරලා හදන්නත් පුළුවන් නැත්නම් පොයින්ට් එක හොයාගෙන හදන්නත් පුළුවන් බලන්න උත්තරේ දාන්න හදලා 1 point given and intercept given. So how to do? You know that here, right? 1 point given 2, 1 and intercept given 5 means that is 0, 5. Okay. Now you can make the gradient m how y difference over x difference. Subtract in this manner. Be lazy. Negative නොවෙන්න subtract කරගන්න. කොහොමත් සමහර ඒවා negative වෙනවා. කොටසක් හැබැයි lazy 5 minus 1 divide by the same direction 0 minus 2. Right. Then 5 minus 1 is 4 divide by 0 minus 2 means negative 2. Then what is the answer? Negative 2 is the gradient. 4 divided by 2 means 2, negative 2. So m is negative 2. Then c given 5. So just write the equation y equal m. Instead of m you write negative 2 x plus c is 5 plus 5. Hands up those who got the answer. Right. තව විදියක් කියලා දෙන්නම් මං. ඒකත් බලා ගන්නකෝ. Right. තව විදියක් අර gradient intercept එක හිව්වා වගේම gradient එකක් substitute කරලා හොයන්න පුළුවන්. It passes through 2, 1 and intercepts c equal 5. කොහොමද දෙන්නේ? Right. එතකොට අපිට gradient එකට මේක දන්නේ නැත්තේ එහෙනම් මම equation එක ලියා ගන්නවා මෙහෙම. Y equal gradient is not known m x but c known. For c I can substitute plus 5. Now the equation in this format m is not known, so that equation passes through this point. That means the point can substitute into the equation instead of x and y. Okay, for y coordinate I can substitute 1, x coordinate 2. So y1 equal m into x coordinate 2. Right, plus 5. Okay, now see that 1 equal 2m plus 5. Now bring 5 to the other side. Then 1 minus 5 equal 2m. Then 2m equal 1 minus 5 means minus 4. Just divide by 2 both sides. 2 cancelled. Then m equal 4 divided by 2, 2 minus 2. Minus 2. So m is found minus 2. දැක්කනේ හොයාගත්තා. දැන් මෙතෙන්ට m දාන්න. එතකොට equation එක ඇවිල්ලා. Therefore y equal m negative 2x plus 5. y equal negative 2x plus 5. තේරුණාද ඒ ක්‍රමෙ? හරි. m හරි c හරි ඔය දෙකෙන්ම m මේකින් m එක අරකින් c හෙව්වේ. right. තව එක question එකක් හදලා අපි session එක ඉවර වෙනවා බලන්න. ඇඳිලා ඉන්න හොඳයි අද හැමෝම session එක පටන් ගත්ත වෙලේ ඉඳලම හැමෝම හිටියේ. එහෙම තමයි පුතා ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට. හරි. කවදා හරි දවසක ඕක පාඩුව දැනෙන්නේ Tamanට ඔය වගේ ගානක් ආපුවම හදාගන්න බැරි වුණාම. right. ඔන්න බලන්න එතකොට මේකේ මෙන්න මේ ගාන right 2020. right, this is the question. Right. Write down it. 20 question. Find the gradient, first one, then intercept of the straight line which passes through the point. අන්න තියෙනවා case එක. 0,2 දැක්ක ගමන් අපි ගේම් කොට දානවා. 0,2 and 5,2. එහෙනම් කෙලින්ම intercept එක ලියන්න පුළුවන්. එක ලකුණක් අරන් ඉන්න. කොහොමද intercept එක ලියන්නේ? බැරි වෙලාවක් නේ. 0, දැකපු ගමන් 0 ට පස්සේ ඉන්නේ කවුද? intercept. So intercept is what? Intercept is 2. You can write intercept as 2. Why? 0, found. That's the coordinate format of its intercept. Then find the gradient. Just y difference of x difference to one direction. Direction mark karanne epa. Here take y here to here, then x. So how to take y difference? 2 subtract 2 divide by x subtract x difference 5 subtract 0. What happened? Top part 2 subtract 2 means 0 divide by 5. 0 any number can divide unot kiyada answer එක 0. So here the gradient 0. Y difference of x difference. Y coordinate සමානයි. ඒ මොකක්ද උනේ? gradient 0 on straight lines තියනවාද? ඔව්. Right, if the no inclination එකක් නැහැ, x axis එක angle එකක් නැහැ කියන්නේ පුතා x to parallel lines මේක වගේ මේක ගේ y equal to වලින් මේක තමයි straight line එක. So with the x axis 0 angle. So where the axis which is parallel to x axis having 0 gradient. ඔන්න ඔය වගේ line එකක් තමයි එන්නේ 0 gradient කියන්නේ. right. හොඳයි. ඔන්න totally කරා පුතා. ඔයාලා ගිහින් බලන්න. papers තියෙනයි 19, 18, 17, 16 ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙන හැම අවුරුද්දෙම ඔය ප්‍රශ්න හතර අරන් බලන්න බැරිද කියලා. හරි. හරියටම උගන්වලා තියෙන්නේ ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයකට උත්තර දෙන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට මේ උගන්වන්නේ පුතා ELC ක්‍රමවේදය අනුව. එතකොට pass paper එකට හරියටම suit වෙනවා. well වටාරන්නේ හරියට අවශ්‍ය ටික ලස්සනට උගන්වනවා. එතකොට අපි අද graph part 1 එක complete උනේ. එතකොට අපි graph part 1 එක පොඩි part එක. හැබැයි ඊට පස්සේ අපි start කරනවා graph part 2 එක. එතකොට ඔයාලා ඒකට graph book ready කරගෙන තියාගන්න. graph book නැති අය graph book එකක් ගන්න. එතකොට ඒකේ අපි graph ටික අඳිනවා. ඔයාලට මුල ඉඳලා කියලා දෙනවා කොහොමද paper එක set up කරගන්නේ, scale එක ගන්න කොහොමද, ඒ විස්තර ටික හරියටම කියනවා. එතකොට මේකට ස්ථීරවම සම්බන්ධ වෙන අය මේ සතිය තුල මට ඉන්ෆෝම් කරන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට ඒ අයගේ රෙජිස්ටර් එක හදනවම ඊට පස්සේ අපි සුපුරුදු ටයිම් ටේබල් එක මේකමයි. Sunday 8 to 10 speed fast track revision එක යන්නේ Sunday. ඊට අමතරව දැන් මේක ඉන්න අයට පුළුවන් අවශ්‍ය අයට paper class එකට එන්න. paper class එකේ ඉන්න අයට මේකට එන්න පුළුවන්. මේක දෙකටම සහභාගී වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. දෙකෙන්ම දේවල් දෙකක් ගොඩ නැගෙන්නේ. ඇත්තටම තව මාස 7-8නේ තියෙන්නේ මේක කැප කරන්න හරියටම සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක solid day එකකට යන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. එතකොට මොකද මම දන්නවා පුතා ගොඩාක් මේ maths එක weak ළමයි විශේෂයෙන් English medium ළමයි English තිබුණාට subject එක නෑ. ওই දෙකම combine වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා එහෙම ළමයි ඉන්නවා නම් එයාලටත් පණිවිඩය දෙන්න. එතකොට මේ එයාලට පණිවිඩය දෙන්න. මොකද සමහර ළමයි දන්නේ නැහැ හරි මැත්ස් ක්ලාස් එකක් ගැන. ඒකට එයාලට පණිවිඩය දීලා මේ පොඩි කාලෙට එයාලටත් අවස්ථාවක් දෙන්න. මේ මේකට සහභාගී වෙන්න. මොකද රිසල්ට් එක අප් වෙනවා කියන්නේ තමන් මුකුත් එහෙම අපි කියන්නේ ඊර්ෂ්‍යා කරන්න එපා කාටවත්. රයිට් හරියනවට සතුටු වෙන්න. ඒක තමයි අපිටත් හරියන්නේ. මම දැකලා තියෙනවා සමහර ළමයි කොච්චර දක්ෂ වුණත් හරි විභාගෙදී රිසල්ට්ස් එන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක හේතුවක් තමයි අපි හිතන්නේ නැති පොයින්ට් සමහර ළමයි හරිම ඊර්ෂ්‍යයි හිතවල. රයිට් ඒ කියන්නේ අනිත් ළමයාට උදව්වක් කරන්නේ නැහැ, පේපර් එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. එයාගේ ගාන හරියනවට කැමති නැහැ. මගේ ගාන වැරදුනහම අවුල්, එයාගේ හරි ගියාම අවුල්. එහෙම හිතන්න එපා. රයිට්. එහෙම හිතන්න අපි පාතට යනවා. ඉතින් සමහරු ක්ලාස් එකක් ඔයද්දි සමහරු කියන්නේ මෙහෙම ක්ලාස් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔය තමන් විතරක් ඒකෙන් ප්‍රයෝජන ගන්නවා. එහෙම කරන්න එපා. දැන් මේක හැමෝටම දෙන්නේ දැනුම දෙනවා කියන එකත් ලොකු තමන්ටම අනිත් පැත්තෙන් සෙතක් හැදෙනවා. රයිට්. මොකද ඊවත් අපිට බලපානවා. දැකලා තියෙනව නේද එහෙම ළමයි? සෑහෙන්න බ්‍රයිට්. රයිට්. පන්තියේ උත්තම ලකුණු එනවා. හැබැයි විභාගෙට වාඩි වෙච්ච ගමන් විභාගේ yaadෙන්නේ නැතු යනවා. හරි. ඒ වගේ වැඩ නිසාත් ඒවා අපිටම බලපානවා රිටර්න් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා හැමෝටම උදව් කරන්න. රයිට්. දන්නේ නැති දේ කියලා දෙන්න. රයිට්. හොඳට තමන් කියලා දුන්නොත් තමන්ටමයි පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. හරි. දැන් කියලා තියෙන කෙනෙක් අපි දන්නේ නැත්නම් ඉගෙන ගන්න දන්නවනම් උගන්නන්න. ඒක තමයි වෙන්න ඕනේ. හරි. දොරේනම් ක්ලාස් දෙකේ ෂෙඩියුල් එක පැහැදිලිව වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Saturday 8:30 to 10:30 paper class එක යනවා. Sunday 8 to 10 paper class එක sorry fast track theory program එක යනවා. අනිත් එක පුතා දැන් class fees උනත් මම අසාමාන්‍ය ගණන් අරන් නැහැ. ඔයාලා බලන්න නිකන් සාමාන්‍ය මම ඔය නිකන් හල් බැලුවා ලොකු ඉංග්‍රීසි මීඩියම් කියලා මේක ලොකු වට මවනවා. එහෙම දෙයක් නෑ ඇත්තටම. අපි හරියට වැඩේ කරනවා. ඒ නිසා ඒකට හරියට ජොයින් වෙලා වැඩේ කරගන්න පුළුවන්. මම ඊගන්න මුදලට හරිම සාධාරණයක් ඉෂ්ට කරනවා. කිසිම අඩුවක් කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයාලට ඉතින් මේ මාසට හරියටම සෙට් වෙලා වැඩේ කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි එහෙනම් අපි ලබන සතියේ පේපර් එකත් එක්ක මුණ ගැහෙමු. ඊට පස්සේ fast track graph part 2 එහෙනම් අයිබෝන් හැමෝටම ජය වේවා. good night.